guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name's Ellie and this is Mystic Messages with Ellie. If you're new here, then please make yourself comfortable. Go and grab a drink and grab a hot chocolate, a tea, a coffee, water, orange juice, anything. Get yourself cozy and we'll jump into the video. But before we do that, if you haven't already, please could you hit that subscribe button? It really does help my channel and it helps me to know if you enjoy these videos and if I should continue in the future, because I enjoy these videos. I love doing readings for you all. It's so fun and I find it very therapeutic as well, and I love to help people. So hit that subscribe button, guys. So, and if you've been here before, then thank you so much for coming back. Spend a bit more time with me. There we go. So this video is a little bit different. This is going to be a little bit of a story time because I feel that I keep posting all these videos and I don't feel you guys know me really at all. And I just want to give you a bit of a story time on why I started tarot in the first place, what pushed me to it and why I enjoy it so much. And why I'm going to reveal that, I'm going to do a lot of shuffling on my cards because I've done a lot of readings. And I actually read for 2 friends yesterday. And one of them was very, very negative. So I just want to knock that negative energy out, okay? And I want to just make it happy again. So I'm going to shuffle these cards, and also I've been using my brand new cards as well. So I'm going to shuffle those as well. So you're just going to have to watch me shuffle my cards while I do a bit of a story time. So, okay, so why did I get into tarot? A lot happened to me in the last year. Okay, I had a very, very difficult year. A lot of things went wrong. And there's a lot of unhappiness. So why did I get into tarot? What's happened to me that's made me want to do tarot? And the answer is a lot. Okay. Now, how can I sort of explain this? Growing up, I was always I was kind of spiritual. I was open to all the things. I love everything to do with spirituality. I really, really enjoy it. And I did have quite a few experiences growing up, I'll be honest. And I never really acknowledged it. I used to just ignore it, brush it all off. I saw things, people might think this is rubbish, but I always saw things in the corner of my eye. And I lived in this house. And it wasn't a very nice place, I'll be honest. And it wasn't until we moved out a couple of years later that I found out that it was actually built on a graveyard. A very, very old cemetery from hundreds of years ago. And it was just, since I knew that, everything started piecing together in there. I've always been very, I can't say that word, susceptible. I'm just going to say I've always been really open to it, okay? To things going on around me with energies and stuff. And there was one time, a couple of times, I've been to, I don't know if you guys have ever been to it, but we went to, there was this castle. And it might have just been like, it wasn't really a castle, but the Tower of London. I went in there and I went up this really narrow staircase and I couldn't go up it. I freaked out, okay? And I wasn't very young. I was about 14. And I suddenly had a really scary thought. I thought someone was behind me. I mean, we were like one of the last group, like tour guides. So there wasn't a lot of us there. And I just felt something. There was some kind of energy there, and it was really, really. It was actually very scary, and I don't like to think about it now. I don't know what it was. I can't explain it, but I really did not enjoy that place at all. And there was another instance. I lived in Wales, and I lived there for about, I think, up to a year and like 2 months. And that house was incredibly creepy. It was an old school, but it was one of those old schools, like 100 years ago, basically, and it looked like a church. It was a lovely, lovely house. I'm not saying that, but it was terrifying. And there was a lot of things that happened there. I was on my own one night, and I could just sense things. Okay, and I just heard noises upstairs. There was one night, and I'm really sorry if it's freaking you out, but I'm just trying to explain how my life is and why I'm into all this. But there was one night when I took a bath and my parents were downstairs and they were watching telly, and I was upstairs and I thought I heard somebody call my name. So I shouted out. I said, yeah, well, I'm in the bathroom. And it didn't answer me. And then I heard it again. And I was like, whoa, when you were younger. Like, what? Why'd you keep calling my name? And there was nothing. And then all of a sudden I heard my dog. He was outside the door and he was really whimpering. So I was like, what's the matter? You know, so I got out of the bath because I was a little bit freaked out by that point. And I shouted down. I'm like, Mum, Dad, did you just call me? What's going on here? And they were like, what are you talking about? We've been downstairs the whole time. And I thought they were joking. And I said, don't be silly. You are literally upstairs calling my name. And they said, we haven't even been upstairs. And they were really adamant. And I knew they weren't lying. You know, and you can just tell. So that was kind of freaky. And the fact that my dog was acting very, very strange, whimpering and everything. It was a very scary experience, to be honest. And every time I was alone in that house, I just got a feeling I was being watched. I think it was very creepy, but nobody else felt like it. Everybody else was like, oh, it's just an old house. Like, you're probably just hearing noises. But no, it's just, there's a lot of things that went on in that house, and I'm not going to go into it all now. But if you guys want me to, I can easily do another video where I'll go into depth about it because it was creepy as. But I won't do that now. So yeah, so aside from obviously the spirit side, and I have seen things, and I'm not going to lie, they did absolutely terrify me. I've also had experiences when I've been sleeping. I don't know if any of you guys get it, sleep paralysis. I mean, I know that's a really common thing and it's normal. It's probably nothing to do with spirituality, but some of the dreams I've had and the experiences I've had when I've been asleep aren't very, very, very freaky, I'll be honest. So I've always been sort of still can't say that word. I've always been very open, there we go, to that kind of thing. So anyway, last year, my dad, he was diagnosed with cancer. And it was a very, very tough year. And we thought it was going to be okay. And, Jesus, we're not reading today cards. We thought it was going to be okay, but we were told one of his appointments he only had a year left to live, which was very, very upsetting. Him and my mum have been together for over 30 years. So it was a very, very tough time. And I was obviously helping her in the process as well as myself. And I was ignoring everything how I felt, and I was just paying attention to her, which wasn't easy. But it was just very, very tough, and it was just very tough and something I never want to experience again. It was horrendous and it was so upsetting. But anyway, during that year, what was it? There was somebody that introduced me to somebody, and it was this medium lady. Now, she was really, really good. I'm not going to lie. I was always a little bit skeptical about those. I thought, oh, she obviously knows me. She's looked me up on social media. She must know, things about me. How can she do these things? So I wasn't open at all. I was very closed off during that reading, and I didn't give anything away. And there are some things, yes, that she could have possibly found on social media. So I thought I'll ignore that. But there's literally something she was saying and things I've never told anybody. And I found that very, very interesting. And I thought, how can you possibly know that? Like little things I used to do when I was a kid, when I was alone each night, because I was very introverted. I wanted to be alone. I've never been a very sociable person. And this is why I'm actually very shocked that I've got a YouTube channel. I have to interact with people on the daily, but I don't mind that because everybody I've spoken to so far have been really, really nice. So I appreciate you. I mean, yes, you get the odd horrible comments because, tarot, and people associate tarot with the devil and things like that. And it's really, really not. It's all about guidance. It's nothing to do with that, And it's just how you interpret the cards, isn't it? It's nothing to do with the devil. Do you know what I mean? So, anyway, moving on from the haters. And there are a lot of them. I'll probably get some on this video, but oh well. So anyway, she knew things that nobody knew. She knew how I was feeling when I was a kid, what I went through. She knew things that me and my father used to do. Like sometimes when I was a kid, he used to just take me on these little trips, and I would go, oh, not reading, and we'd go. He used to take me fishing and things like that. I really did enjoy that. It was really fun. And we used to go on little road trips, like random little trips, and go find like fairs and markets and things like that. And like nobody knew that. Like, I've never put anything like that on social media. Like, how would you know that? And I'm a very closed person. I don't reveal things about myself, and that's why I do keep a journal. in my journal, knows everything. Nobody's got a hold of it because I've hidden it in a very strategic place. So, yeah, so that's that. But she knew things that she can possibly know. And she told me as well, she can sense I was very spiritual. And she asked me about any experiences I've had over the years. And I said, I've had quite a few actually. Things have happened to me that, I went into it more in depth with her. I told her certain things. And she said, there was somebody around me and it was a lady. And I thought, who could that possibly be? And she said somebody's name. And I thought, no, I don't know that lady. Okay. So I thought, no, I haven't got a clue who you're talking about. But she said she's been around me since I was born. And she never got a chance to meet me. So I was like, okay. And then she said, she's always there. She's always around me. Okay. And she was saying things, you spend a lot of time by yourself. You spend a lot of time contemplating, and you need to step out of that habit and start enjoying the world more and realizing your strengths, and you need to start working on yourself a little bit. So I was like, okay, fair enough. And she mentioned tarot. She said, have you ever done any tarot readings? I said, no, but I am interested in doing it because I've always found it fascinating and I've always got my cards read. And she said, well, I feel that you really need to explore that. She said, because I can sense it from you. So I was like, okay. And I thought nothing of that. So I went away from that. Okay, I'm going to do my other file now. So I went away from that. And I thought about starting tarot, but I didn't, things were happening in that year, this was. And, my father was very, very ill. We were looking after him. So nothing happened. Nothing came of it. So when the time came, we looked after him till the end. He was at home. It was very, very sad, horrible time. So I find it difficult to talk about that. So I'm not going to go into detail about that side of things. But a couple of months after, to make my mum feel better, she said, "Oh, should we get a medium reading?" And she had this card for this medium. We don't know her. We never met her before. She doesn't know anybody we know because she was quite halfway up the country. Nobody knew her that we knew. And before we contacted her, this might sound weird, but we blocked her on all social media because we thought we're going to block her because she doesn't know us at the moment. So if we block this person, she can't read up about us. Might sound harsh, but we thought, we want to see what happens here. So we did that. And then, we decided to get a reading done. And she was obviously, again, something she said was just crazy. She literally didn't know anything about us. And she was telling me, she said that woman was there with me, the same woman that lady told me. And she actually told me her name this time. And I took nothing from that because I didn't know who she was. But I thought, well, that's lovely. She could be an old member of the family that I never got to meet, And she's just looking out for me like a spirit guide. So I thought that's quite nice. And so that was that. And then she told me my father was there around me. I never even mentioned that he was ill and that he passed away. And she was saying things that happened a couple of days before that, again, nobody could know. And me and him had a conversation. And I was telling him things and he was telling me things. And, we were looking back at the past and funny things that have ever happened, all of that. And she was saying some of these things, and I was like, oh, that's so weird. And she was mentioning a ring, like a ring. And when I was a kid, he gave me I think it was one of his family members' rings, and I've still got it. It's in a box. And I've never obviously worn it because it's way too big for me, but he gave it to me anyway because he said to me, if you grow older and you have a son, which I have got a son now, perhaps you could possibly give it to him on his 18th or something like that, which I thought was really nice. But she knew that. And I thought, how would you know that? So it's very, very weird. She knew a lot. So anyway, this woman said to me, you're a very spiritual person. I can sense it from you. And I feel you need to explore that. And your spirit guides are telling me to tell you to explore it because you've got a lot of knowledge. You've got a lot of inner sort of wisdom, and I feel like you could help people and while also helping yourself in the process. So I was like, okay. And she was asking, have you ever done tarot? And I said, no, I haven't. But everyone tells me that I should because it's something I am interested in. I do like having my cards read. And she told me to explore it. She just explore different options. She asked if I ever hear any strange things. And she actually said that this woman turned around and said, sometimes at night I hear this sort of buzzing noise. And she said to me that that buzzing noise was like my spirit guides around me. And this buzzing noise, let me explain it. You know, if you're watching, you know that white noise? You know, white noise, say, it's quite old now, but when I was growing up, we had the tellies, and if you're watching something and the program stops, you know, or you're watching a video, really showing my age, you know, you get all that white noise at the end of it. Hopefully, you know what I mean. But it's like static noises. That's kind of like what I hear. And now she told me that this lady who's with me is around me, and she said that noise is letting me know that they're there. And I was like, all right, okay. So I did. Coming out of that, I took a lot of things. There was a lot that she actually said that I was very, very shocked about. I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. And I actually cried when I come out of there. I thought there's things that she couldn't have known, like the ring and all stuff like that. So I do believe in all these things. And I thought and I said to my mum, I said, there's no way that she could have known that. Like, never told anybody that. And I told my mum about this woman. And she asked me what her name was. I told my mum the name, and she turned around and said, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Well, who is it?" And she says, "That is your great grandmother." And I was like, "Really?" She said, "Yes." She said she died about 3 months before I was born. And she said she knew my mum was pregnant. She was very excited. She couldn't wait to meet me. Sadly, she passed away before I was born. And she said that is her name. And I was like, oh my God. Now, I never knew her name. I did, obviously, when I was younger, but we've never really spoken about her. So growing up, I didn't... Oh, that wasn't right. Oh, God, they're going everywhere. So I didn't really acknowledge who she was as a guy. I sort of knew her name, but I couldn't place her. You know, do you ever get that? So I realised that was her. And so that was that. And I thought that was very strange that how they knew all these things and they're literally telling me to do things like this. So a couple of months later, moving on from the whole medium thing, I went to get my cards read. Now, again, there was things that were brought up that I thought, God, it's so strange. And every time I get my cards read, they mention spirituality and do I explore things like that, because they all sense it from me. I have been told that so many times, and I said no, but I am actually really looking into that. So cut a long story short, because we are going into everything here, I bought myself some tarot cards, and I bought myself these lovely tarot cards, the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot cards, and I was obsessed. But God, most of these are upside down, but I was absolutely obsessed with them, and I was looking through them, and I thought, how on earth am I supposed to interpret these? I mean, I had a little vague idea because I've always had my cards read, but you know, when it comes down to you reading them, I was like, what on earth do they mean? Or what does this mean? And I was researching anything, everything. I was researching everything going for these cards, and I did an entire journal. I will show you that journal right now. You've probably seen it before, but it's here. This was my tarot deck. I spent so long doing this. It took me such a long time. At the top, I know it's hard to see, but I'll just turn it on its side. I have tabs, major arcana, swords, wands, cups, pentacles, other info. Okay. Now, for every single page, I write down everything. Here, it's major arcana. It's people, so the four open-minded, magician, highly skilled. Sorry, I can't read my writing because I'm right up in the end. This is quite far down. So we have every single card here. I've also got other sections for the, you know, the swords, the suits. So I found all this, and some candles here. I found all this information on tarotguide.com, okay? And I wrote down everything. Keywords, general, love, little meanings up here. Money, career, health, spirituality, and whoop. And I did that for every single card, okay? It took me so long to do. And when I was doing that, I thought, oh God, I should never started this because my hand was killing me. But I really wanted to learn this. And I really just went all out. And it took me about a week to finish. I was on a mission. So I did all the major arcanas, the same thing, you know, keywords, general, love, money, career, spirituality, health, all of that. So we'll go to swords. So it's swords. Swords here, and I put air element there. Then obviously I put the little meaning at the top, what it all means. So I did exactly the same thing, put all the suits, okay? Now, other info. Where is it? Other info, yeah. Element. Do not judge my pictures. I can't draw for toffee. But these were wands, cups, swords, pentacles. You can tell I'm a really bad drawer. I couldn't even draw the wand. I thought, I can't even draw that wand. I cannot draw. This is a cup. My son said it looks like a mushroom. This is a sword. What does that look like to you? I've been told other things. But anyway, take the pictures out. So I put the wands represent fire, water is cups, air is swords, earth is pentacles. And I've put down a little bit of things of what they can mean. New number orders of all the cards, which is pretty self-explanatory, but I thought I'd just do that anyway. The numbers, which is on the let me grab them. You know, like we'll just look at this one. So this one here, the numbers, which would be number 8. Where are you? Number 8, glory, mind, ideas, language, just things like that, okay? Just certain things to help me read them. The planets of all the things of the world is Aquarius, Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius, the Tower, Aries, Scorpio, all of that. Learn to these are all just rough things that I thought, oh, I'll quickly write all these down. The zodiac signs for all the major arcanas. So I wrote all that down. I underlined bits that made sense. Oh, and I started to read for myself. So these tarot combinations, past, present, future, all of that. Colour similar, yes. I know the spelling is atrocious, but you know, when you're writing for yourself, who's going to really read it? And I was writing quickly, so. Questions to ask tarot, questions I could have asked. And again, just some things. Hurrah, this is all rubbish. This is how to find your birth chart, which I've done a video on. And that was it. And I just in here, just put loads of little bits that I was, you know, wrote out and I couldn't fit in the journal. So that was the actual journal. Again, I'm just going to do a bit more shuffling here. So I wrote down every single thing. So I wanted to learn, which was fair enough. You know, it took me forever. But then I just started to read them. When I was watching a few videos how to read it intuitively, I started to realise, you know, the question I was asking, I could sort of get from the pictures. And I sort of read it like a story. Do you know what I mean? So let me show you what I'm talking about here. Let's pull down that one. The Chariot. Yeah, Strength card and the 4 cups. Sword, sorry. So, I sort of read it like a story. I thought, right, okay, so we're taking some time out, okay? We really need to rest. We've got to work on ourselves. There's been a lot going on in our life, and we just need to take that step back and be by ourselves for a little while, okay? We have a lot of inner strength here. We need to take that time, but we need to acknowledge our inner strength because we can do it. We can move on, and we will move on because the Chariot's opened up, you know? We're going to charge on, we're going to know what we want, we're going to know exactly how to get it, and we're going to make a plan and do it. So we're going to have that period of contemplation. We're going to think, right, what do I want? I need to go and get it. I can't live like this. And we're going to find that inner strength to go and do that because we need a lot of inner strength to, you know, get out there and do it. Then we're going to find the way to do it. So we're going to work up a plan, and we're going to move towards doing that because once we've done that, we're going to be on the way to new and brighter beginnings because we have everything we need in life, but there's just something missing. And we're going to charge forwards and we're going to find that. We're going to find that something missing because we don't want to be contemplating for the rest of our lives. Something like that, okay? That was just on the top of my head. So that's how I started to learn to read them. Should we just do another one? Okay, so we've got the 6 of Cups. The Hanged Man, the Emperor, and we'll do this one. Okay, so from this one, what I would say, if I was looking at this when I was learning, I'll probably say something like, we are thinking a lot about the past. We've got a lot of happy memories. We've got a lot of happy things in our life that we're thinking about. And we know that we can't get them back, but we just can't stop thinking about them, okay? And also, we could probably be meeting somebody that's going to be very generous to us, and they're going to be, it's like a kind stranger, they're going to help us in some way. But we need to get out of that period of contemplation because we're contemplating whether to trust this person or not. But we should move on because we need to have the focus and the determination to move on. And we will move on because we will overcome the nostalgia. Even though it's lovely to be nostalgic, we can't live in the past, okay? We need to overcome the past. And we're having a lot of time thinking about the past, contemplating everything. And it's uncomfortable because we're thinking, God, I used to have that, I used to have this, but now I've got nothing. And I want to go back to the past. I don't want to live in the present. But you have to realize that you need to have that courage and determination to move forward. You need to you will remain guarded, and you will be on the lookout for potential people that could try and, hurt you or treat you like crap. But you need to have that courage and determination to overcome any obstacles. You can't live in the past. You just need to work on that courage to overcome anything that's thrown at you and really work towards what you want in life. Something like that. That was not perfect. That's just what I'm getting from them. So you see what I mean? I was doing things like that, and I was reading it like a story. Do you know? I'm going to shuffle these again. My Ride Away ones. So yeah, that was the reason for my tarot journey. And over the years, I've sort of over the past year, I really, really enjoy learning about it, and I have learned a lot about it. And I just like to read them intuitively like that. And don't get me wrong, you really do need to know the general meanings as well, but you don't always have to. You can, if you're asking a question, all you got to do is sort of look at the card. I mean, look, like you're looking, because cups represent emotion, okay? So it's like you're looking into your emotions. You're looking into how you're feeling. What are you feeling? The Ten of Cups, I'd say something like you've achieved everything you want in life. You've got all your wishes have come true. Perhaps there's a few secrets that are still to be revealed though. So just just still be on guard a little bit. And also just know that yes, you've achieved all these things, but there's probably something else within you that you need to acknowledge. Okay. And then we've got the Nine of Pentacles. Now this is indicating that you've got financial gain. You've gained enough financial and you're holding on to your money. You're very financially independent. You're independent. You're by yourself. You've got everything going for you. Things like that. And then planting the seed, you're going to plant the seed and you know what you want and you're going to go for it. I'm not going to go through every card. You can sort of get what I mean. So I read them intuitively and I find it much easier. You're up at night, you're feeling depressed, anxious, there's something on your mind and it's just really weighing heavily on you. You don't know how you're going to do it. You don't know how you're going to do it. You don't know how you're going to cope. And you're really struggling to come to terms with what's happened. Things like that. That's all you've got to do. Intuitive reading, that's what I like to do. I mean, I do like to look at the general meanings as well because they do help a lot when you're learning. So if you are learning, just get a little tarot journal, write down things that you might think could help you in your learning process. And then just look at the cards like I was doing and just think to yourself, what do the cards say to you? That's all I do. So anyway, that was a little bit of a mini tutorial at the end there, wasn't it? And if you want more in-depth tutorial about how I read it intuitively, then I'm more than happy to do that for you. I would love to help you guys. So let me know in the comments if you want me to do that, because I will definitely do that in a longer video, because that was a very short, quick thing. So that is why I started learning tarot, and I really enjoyed it ever since. And people who have read for me before, I've actually read to them too. And it was really, really intimidating. So I was like, oh my God, like they know everything. What if I read it and I sound ridiculous? But things I was saying, they were really resonating with, and they thought, yes, I didn't think of that. And they're actually praising me for doing it. So yeah, it's been really good. And I finally worked up the courage to create this channel, and I'm really, really enjoying it so far. It's very slow to grow, but I'm enjoying the process, and I'm hoping I can help you all in a way, and I'm hoping this channel continues because I'm having a lot of fun. So anyway, that was my tarot journey, why I started tarot, and why I feel that you guys should start tarot too, really, because it's a really lovely thing to do, and it's not as hard as it seems. Honestly, Let's just go back to school really quick. I was useless. I couldn't retain any information. I was rubbish at it. This is why I like to read tarot intuitively. Yes, I still look back at the general meanings of the cards, which really does help. If I'm doing a spread and something's come up, and I'm like, oh, I can't remember what that is, I'll quickly look in my book and I think, oh, yes, and it will click. Okay, that's just, it's good to know the general meanings. It really is, but it's not all the be all and end all. You can read it intuitively. You just got to go on your instinct and your inner thoughts, you know. So, yeah, that's my tarot journey, why I started. And since my father's death, it's really helped me overcome a lot. And I looked to tarot for guidance, and it's helped me work on myself and not understand my struggles and my feelings. And it's helped me with advice, basically. So, that's my journey. So, I'm sorry if this was boring. Sorry, you obviously, I hope you learned something here, and I hope I could help you in some kind of way. So, remember to subscribe, guys, and I'll be doing a lot more tutorials in the future, so look out for that, and I'll see you on my next video.